If you're not following Supergiant Games, then you're probably a Supergiant doofus because this studio has been producing some of the highest quality indie games that I have ever seen. Now let's talk a little bit about their history with games. Their first game, Bastion, was a masterpiece and they nailed it straight out the bat. I played Bastion and loved the art style, the narration, and the music of the game all bundled with a story about a calamity that was caused by racial prejudice.
Golf and the kid make small talk, but that's it.
There was one thing about the game that I really didn't like, and that was the actual gameplay. Don't get me wrong, Bastion is a wonderful game, but for me the combat felt a little bit too grindy and not rewarding enough during the time I played it. I also took about a 6-month break from the game in the middle of the actual campaign before getting back to it and actually finishing the story, just because I got a little bit bored with the gameplay and it felt like it was taking too long to advance the story. But on to their next game, Transistor, was another instant classic. As always, with this studio, art, music, and vocals were top-notch, but the gameplay was actually far improved in my opinion from Bastion. It was a more satisfying game to play as it involved a more thoughtful take to set up moves rather than just a hack and slash. One point I did not like as much with this game was that the story was a little bit more abstract and harder to grasp as the previous one, but it was still a great story. I just had to read up a little bit about the actual game outside of playing it to understand those plot points, but really that's probably just a minor fault with me, and it's not really representative of the entire experience. Now their third games in the series is Pyre, which we're not going to talk about because I haven't played it personally. Probably should though if I'm making this video. But now this brings us to their actual latest release, Hades. Now as a longtime Supergiant fan, get it? The initial premise of the game for Hades was actually honestly unappealing to me. Apart from the fact that it was early access on Epic Games Store, Supergiant excelled at creating wonderful new experiences and stories with their previous games, and the fact that they were making a story based on an existing Greek mythology had me a bit skeptical, so I really didn't anticipate buying the game. It was only when I heard a ton of good reviews when the game released on Switch that I thought I'd give it a try, and boy, I am so glad that I was wrong. Hades is a masterfully crafted story set in a roguelike game where your character, Zagreus, the son of Hades, ventures to escape hell with the help of the Olympian gods. Once you inevitably die out there, in either Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, or even beyond, you end up going back to the Great Hall where you can upgrade Zagreus with your collectibles found out on the run, and head out for another run to escape hell. One thing I absolutely admire about this game is the interactions you have with the many people in either the Great Hall or during one of those runs. Each character, first of all, looks beautiful in terms of art, and they're beautifully created, but they're also voiced to perfection. You want to know how good this voice acting is? Here's a clip of Zagreus, the main character. Now, let's just all take an exercise. Let's listen to his voice. Imagine who actually voiced this guy.
I'll give them hell as you once did, Achilles. I ought to have asked by now, but what's it like? Up there, I mean, outside.
Alright, do you have an image of that actor in your head? Here is the actual voice actor. This is not who you were expecting. This just goes to show you how talented these people are at what they do. Each character is so amazingly acted and drawn that dying during a run is actually fun because I get to interact with these characters more and talk to them. You can even give them nectar and other gifts that will increase their relationship status with you and will help you unlock gifts or secret events. On top of that, other collectibles can be used to upgrade your character, your weapons, add cosmetics to the game, and more. Each run actually felt easier and easier going through it once I upgraded. It also took me about 14 tries to actually make it to the end and escape hell, and took me about 30 tries to reach the quote-unquote end credits of the game. Each run even lasted about 30 minutes, so like do the math, 30 runs, 30 minutes, it's like what, 900 minutes that I spent? That's like 15 hours I spent just playing these runs in the game, not counting the times that I talked to characters. It's a pretty good deal for $20-25 bucks. Even after reaching those credits though, I still wanted to dive in and keep playing because there was actually so much I hadn't completed yet and so many more things I had to unlock. Even after escaping hell, you can even make the runs harder as you go along, increasing your rewards and giving you a better challenge. One thing also is that I played the game entirely on the Switch console, which honestly made me a bit scared to experience, because there might be performance drops with such an intense game, but to my surprise, everything ran pretty flawlessly. I actually think I liked playing it on Switch more than I would have on PC, just because I could easily drop in and drop out of playing a run. When walking to a different room and hearing the music change, to getting a towel rack for when you need to dry off blood from dying on a run, Hades is a labor of love from Supergiant Games, and that love shines to even the smallest of details provided in the game. It is by far my favorite game of 2020, and it's getting the Golden Taze Award. I expect their next game to be another Supergiant hit. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this short review I had of Hades from Supergiant Games. Let me know what you all thought about the video. I'm trying to do a little bit more variety in terms of content I bring to this channel. Again, there will always be gameplay and other projects and other videos on this channel, as well as these little short Taized Talks. So, just want to thank you all for listening to my Taized Talk, and I hope you have a great day.